Okay, if I could just have your attention for a minute. This is the portion of our council meeting that we refer to as open forum. Anyone is permitted up to 3 to 5 minutes if they wish to have some suggestions for council to give some consideration to prior to going into our deliberations as council. Is there anyone that wishes to make any suggestions to council? Okay, there being none, then we'll start right at 7. Thank you. Okay, well,
Say
please.
anything?
Yes, please do.
Good evening and welcome to the council meeting of the Town of Newmarket on Monday, January 19th, 2015. All members of council are present. Mayor Van Bynen is presiding.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There are no notices, no public notices required, nor are there any additions or corrections to our agenda. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest from members of council? No? Okay, no declarations. Our first item then is a presentation by Aaron Sorrenzia, and that's relative to the Newmarket Historical Society. Is Aaron here? In the nick of time. Okay, we permit up to 10 minutes for presentations.
Oh, I can talk slowly then. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. And hello to new members who I might not have met before. Just as a quick refresher for those new members to council, my name is Aaron Sorrenzia. By day, I am the coordinator at Neighborhood Network, which is likely the capacity that most of you know me in. But by night, I am actually a historian, local history enthusiast, and activist, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about this evening. So, in the summer of 2013, I came before council to ask for their support as I traveled on an academic study tour of the Canadian battlefields in Europe. And on this trip, I had the absolute extreme honor of visiting the grave of Newmarket soldier Lieutenant Thomas Jaffrey Robertson Jr., who was killed during the Battle of Passchendaele on the 5th of November 1917. Council presented me with a commemorative plaque to place on Jaffrey's headstone, honoring his sacrifice and bringing a piece of Newmarket to one of our boys who never made it back home. And this is the moment placing the plaque, the image that you see in front of you. And one of the things that really struck me the most from this moment was that when I finally saw Jaffrey's headstone, after months and months of researching his life and all the weeks that it took to actually travel to the grave there, I felt as though I was finally reunited with a friend. This is someone that I have absolutely no familial ties to whatsoever, but I became so connected with his life and with his story and with this boy who was from Newmarket that it really was like being with a friend. And I made a promise to myself that day that I would do everything in my power once I came back home to Newmarket to help keep his memory alive and keep the memories alive of our other fallen soldiers. So that's the reason why we're here tonight. It's my privilege to introduce you to, well, I'm one of the committee members here, the only one here tonight, but to introduce you in theory to Newmarket's First World War Centennial Committee. We are a volunteer-run committee spearheaded by Bob Buchan, who's the current president of the Newmarket Historical Society, Chris Morris, who's the director of archives for the Historical Society, Ron Atkins, who's a historical reenactor with an educational background from the Museum of Applied Military History, myself, Aaron Sorrenzia. I have my BA and MA in Honors History from the University of Western Ontario, and Neela Pasenti, who is the president and CEO of South Lake Regional Health Center Foundation. She's volunteering as our financial advisor on the committee. So our mission is to commemorate Newmarket's First World War veterans and their sacrifice, to educate and engage residents of the town of Newmarket, and to celebrate the great patriotism of our small town in the First World War. And our vision is commemoration, education, and remembrance of Newmarket's First World War. So since I'm here talking to you guys about the First World War, I hope that you're all aware that on the 4th of August 2014, it was the anniversary 100 years since the war began. And the First World War is considered to be one of the most defining events of modern history. So as such, its centenary offers a chance to educate and engage the community in acts of commemoration that will echo those being offered nationally over the next 4 years. Our committee has put together a very, very detailed plan of events following the historical chronology of the First World War. We've reviewed this proposal extensively with Ian McDougall and Colin Service in the Department of Recreation and Culture. So for the sake of time, I'll just take you through a very high-level overview of our plans. And of course, if you have any questions, if you'd like to see anything in more detail, I can provide that to you through through the various channels, I can get you copies of everything, but just do keep in mind it is high level. So for 2015, our focus is to stick with the theme of recruitment, and our biggest events that we're planning are some large-scale community flash mobs. Now, these are actually historical flash mobs, so we're not dancing around to modern music. It'll be people in historical dress, both men and women, kind of going through very prominent spaces in Newmarket, and we have pamphlets that would be similar style to recruitment pamphlets that would have been handed out to soldiers back in 1915, but these will actually share Newmarket's history. So it's just a way of generating buzz in the community, sharing the local history, and sparking that interest, hopefully, and encouraging people to kind of research and stay tuned for more. 2016, entrenchment is the big theme. 1916, we really focus on trench warfare. So our large-scale event is actually building an interactive trench display. Right now, we're kind of talking with Upper Canada Mall to see if that's something that we can host inside the mall, which would be amazing for so many reasons. But again, having a trench that local students, not just from Newmarket, but from the entire region, can come, go to, walk through, learn the history, but actually be there and get that experience. It's really invaluable when studying the First World War, so that's our goal. And again, it's open to students, but also members of the public, and that's why in a space like Upper Canada Mall, somewhere that's central, easy access, lots of parking, it really provides an opportunity to educate large numbers in Newmarket. And undoubtedly, the pinnacle of national and local commemoration will be the Vimy Ridge, 2017, April 9th to April 12th. This moment in time in history is seen as when Canada defined itself as a nation on the international scale. So nationally, there are already huge events planned around this. And for Newmarket's perspective, we'll be hosting a large gala, the Vimy Ridge Gala, at Pickering College. Pickering College was a military hospital for the entire duration of the First World War, even though the Quakers who owned Pickering College were pacifists and didn't believe in the war. They gave up their school, sent all their students home, and gave it up to take care of those who were wounded on the front. So Pickering College is, fitting in so many levels to host a gala of this scale, and we're very excited about that. They've come on board and they are officially hosting the gala. And to conclude our high overview, in 2018, we will be hosting an event featuring War on the Home Front, and that'll take place on Main Street, bringing the history alive where it actually happened in 1918 when they marched to celebrate the armistice. And then we'd also like to do a rededication of our Memorial Park and also contribute some sort of complimentary peace memorial or monument to add into the park that honors the soldiers who are not currently listed on the cenotaph, because we know as a historical society there are many soldiers, just because of the records, they weren't included, and then all those who we may have lost in the subsequent wars following the First World War. So now, we all know a project of this nature could not be successful without the support of key community stakeholders. And all those who we have successfully reached out to for endorsement of the program are listed on the screen. I think you all have that in front of you. And let's see if this works. So now all those stakeholders who have also committed to providing financial or gift-in-kind support of the program are highlighted in red. And in case that doesn't show up on your handout, that would be the Newmarket Legion, Newmarket Veterans Association, Newmarket Historical Society, Elman W. Campbell Museum, Newmarket Public Library, Pickering College, and the ERA YRMG. But of course, there's one notable stakeholder missing from that list, and that is the town of Newmarket. So, members of council, we want you, as the man on the poster says, we would like you to commit your support for this project as well. And based on the recommendation from the Department of Recreation and Culture, on behalf of the committee, I would like to formally request that the town invests $40,000 or $10,000 over the next 4 years into this project. And I thank you all for your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And as I said, if you require more details about the plan, I can also provide those to you following the meeting.
Great. Thank you. Very
you so much.
ambitious undertaking, and it looks like it'll be exciting. Any questions from member of council? Councillor Sponga.
Thank you, Aaron. Very, to me, very moving presentation. My family was very impacted in northern Italy by World War I, and our family homes in Italy in the San Decimo still bears the bullet holes from a number of executions there. The reason why my question is that if you go back to the funding, the funders slide, the federal and provincial government are not providing any funding?
We have met with MP Lois Brown and MPP Chris Ballard, and at this point they've directed us towards grants that we can apply for. We do know that there is a certain level of federal funding available, but at this time it's not clear to the committee what access we have to that funding and how to apply.
So there are federal and provincial initiatives to support the celebration of the 1418?
Yes, there will be. We just don't know the levels.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Regional councillor.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick comment to you, Aaron, that, we go to Remembrance Day ceremonies and we take that time and, we often the phrase repeated lest we forget, and there's talk often about education, the schools, et cetera. But what you have done with your trip and the information you gave us before you went and when you came back and the research you did and the work you're doing on this, I think is incredible. It just, when we talk about the importance of remembering, and we typically do it once or twice a year, the effort you've made and that you're making is so impressive and so important, and not the least of which the reason is because you're a young person, and often this is torch that's being carried by older people, and you worry about that continuing on. And so I just want to say to you, congratulations on the efforts you have made and you're making.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It would be appropriate for us now then to receive this presentation and to refer the request for funding to our budget process. I think, Mr. McDougall, that's a consideration. Okay, that's moved by Councillor Sponga, seconded by Councillor Kerwin. All those in favor? The buttons.
Just one quick thing.
Councillor Kerwin?
When you came back, I would like to thank you for visiting Beaumont Hummel. Of course, I am of Newfoundland extraction. That's why I'm slow in learning. And it really is ironic that 11 of my ancestors fell within 30 minutes at Beaumont Hummel, but on the opposite side, my wife's uncle, an officer in the German army, was on the Somme, and he was also killed. And years later, we met and married, and her ancestors are buried at the Somme, and mine are buried at Beaumont Hummel. And I really thank you for the way you interpret history today in more a revisionist light. I wasn't brought up that way, and then my uncle was killed at Midway in the Second World War, and I have a piece of the Kitty Hawk that he flew. So I thank you for paying tribute to the effort to bring a Holocaust really to an end. And that was World War I, and you're right. It changed the world forever. And what we're facing in the Middle East was the Versailles Treaty, which mapped out the Middle East, and unfortunately they didn't do a very good job of it, and we're still confronted with the leftover of World War I. So, Aaron, you're most enlightening, and I would like to remind people that this Wednesday at the Community Centre, there's the annual general meeting of the Historical Society, and I know I'll see you there. And I see Jackie Plater in the audience. And I thank my colleagues for nominating me to the Historical Society, and I look forward to working with you for the next 4 years and being a very active part in your stakeholders.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item is a deputation from Nicole Armstrong with the MS Society. Oh, yes, the motion did carry. Does that display up there? Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. My name is Nicole Armstrong. I'm back once again on behalf of the MS Society and the Newmarket MS Walk. Each year we do a big kickoff to rally together, get people out, get teams together, get people informed of the Newmarket MS Walk. So this year we're having our kickoff on Saturday, January 24th. It's at our MS office, which is on Leslie Street. It's 17665 Leslie Street. And there we'll be talking about the walk. We'll have registration. We're going to be selling some books to the avid book lover, and there's some refreshments and coffee. And so this year, our walk is on Sunday, May 3rd, and our honorary chair is Councillor Joe Sponga. Once again, thank you for coming back. So hopefully you guys can make it to the kickoff as well as the MS walk.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Questions, comments? Councillor Sponga.
Can you expand? In the past, we used to have the free skate, and there were lots of different activities and so forth. So what can the public expect on January 20?
Lots of fun. So like I said, so each year we do a kickoff. We've had a variety of kickoffs. We've done the fire hall. We've done at the skating rink across the road at the Magna Center. This year we chose to do a book sale. Just to promote reading. The MS Society also does the readathon, so we're kind of tying everything together, as well as selling books. And we're going to have some refreshments, and that's it. Very low key, but lots of fun. Get people out, family day, get together. And so the walk this year, is at the Newmarket Community Center and Lions Hall. So that's it.
Thank you. Any other questions? Be appropriate then to receive the presentation. Councillor Sponga, seconded. Councillor Bazan, seconded. All those in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank
the work
you.
of the
Have a good
MS
night.
Society has always been a great boon to our community. You're a great community partner, and I appreciate you coming forward and letting us
Thank
the
you.
opportunity to get involved. Thank you. And that passed. Oh, we're missing a vote. Councillor Bazance, did you wish to push the button? Button of your choice? Okay, that passes. Thank you. Next item then is Courtney Cassidy, the event specialist at South Lake, as well as Councillor Thompson from the domain of Aurora, coming to join us.
Can you see that? Is that?
We're just going to move that front and center.
One of our councillors will sneak up and snatch it away if you're not careful.
Sorry?
One of our councillors will sneak up and snatch that trophy away if we're not careful. Or we might just do it by raising more money. There's two options.
I know which way we prefer.
Michael, go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor Van Bynen and members of council. We're certainly happy to be here this evening to talk about the Run for South Lake. For those that don't know me, my name is Michael Thompson. I'm also a councillor in the town of Aurora and a member of the Run for South Lake Committee. With me is Courtney Cassidy. Courtney works for the South Lake Regional Health Center Foundation, as well as sits on the committee for the Run for South Lake. As many of you are aware, we have an outstanding hospital within our region that provides world-class care. And the South Lake Regional Health Center Foundation works tirelessly to help raise funds to make sure that we maintain that world-class patient care. And since its inception, it's raised over $100 million, and the hospital itself has seen over 3 million patients. One of the major campaigns that the foundation is working on is the Transform a Life at South Lake campaign. And as you can see from the slide, that really it's all about transforming the lives of so many in our community and those that pass through the doors of the South Lake Regional Center Hospital. But South Lake depends on community donations to fund all the capital and program expansion that keeps them on the cutting edge of care. As many of us realize, the government of Ontario only provides funds for the operational costs of the hospital, and it relies on other means, such as the foundation, to raise funds to replace equipment, as well as bring in new cutting-edge equipment. The foundation does many events. Only tonight we're here to talk about the Run for South Lake and how you can participate in it. little graph showing you the where donations go, whether it be for the expansion of the hospital, for the renewal of infrastructure and equipment, or just for the day-to-day unfunded needs of the hospital. There's a testimonial in your agenda package of some of the people that pass through and the work that the hospital and the foundation does. But while I'm here tonight, really, it has to do with this trophy and how you, as a council and as a town, can help participate in the Run for South Lake. It's always an amazing event. I've seen many of you over the years, and we're here to ask you to participate in the Municipal Team Challenge. As you can see, and I'm sure many of you remember, that Newmarket won this lovely trophy back in 2011, but since that time has been shut out, as the other municipalities around you have taken over that trophy. Courtney was very good to get the trophy from Mayor Haxon to bring it back so that we can go around from council to council and try and encourage you to participate. Last week we were at King Council, and Mayor Pellegrini reminded us that they've had almost 100% participation from their councillors year after year. So he sort of threw down the gauntlet, and I hope that the town of Newmarket and the council will take up the challenge and participate in the upcoming Run for South Lake. The easiest way really is just to enter a team. But in addition to that, we'd also ask that you help raise awareness for the event. All of us have channels open to us, be it social media or other means, to raise the awareness and let people know that we'd like to see them enter teams. Last year there was 1,675 participants and a little over 100 teams that participated in the Run Walk for South Lake and helped raise over $200,000. We'd like to see all of those numbers increase, not just the teams and the participant, but the dollars raised. If staff are interested to learn more, I know Courtney and others were happy to come and speak to staff through a lunch and learn. So if you haven't already, please give some thought to electing a team captain to help encourage fellow councillors, staff, and anybody else that wants to join Team Newmarket to participate in the Run for South Lake. There's a Twitter handle, there's a Facebook page as well for you to take a look at and engage in. And finally, it's Sunday, April 26th. So it's a great warm-up for the MS Walk, which is the following week. So you can just sort of think about, you have your team, this will be your practice run, and then the week after will be the MS Walk as well. And I hope to see everybody out there.
Thank you. Any questions from members of council? We've always had good participation with the town of Newmarket. We actually set the standard at the very first trophy. There's a good chance that we'll raise that bar. And I'm optimistic that we can do that.
I'll carry that message forward, for sure.
We'll remind our colleagues as we are at the regional meeting on Thursday, just to get them some things started. But as a member of the South Lake Board, I understand how critically important what the foundation does is to the operations of the hospital, in that the capital dollars that are needed and the projects that are going forward, and how important that is to our community. And I believe that that's understood amongst all members of council and staff, and I'd encourage them to join us. And it's in Aurora, so we'll go down to Aurora and we'll take your trophy away maybe this year. So, Michael, thank you very much for being involved in that. I appreciate you coming. Thank you as well, Courtney. And we're looking to a good turnout on behalf of the town of Newmarket. Motion then to receive this presentation. Councillor Twinney, Councillor Vague, all those in favor? Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Grab that.
Good. And that carries. Our next presentation, our next deputation is Mr. John Watson with Play Our Video Festival. And I understand, Mr. Watson, you might need a little more than 5 minutes, so I'll ask council's indulgence to permit up to 10 minutes if necessary. Could I have a motion to that effect? Regional Councillor, Councillor Vague, all those in favor? That is carried. Okay, Mr. Watson. Oh, we have to wait for the button. Okay. Regional Councillor, Councillor Kerwin, Councillor Broom-Plumley. You haven't, oh, the button hasn't surfaced, okay. That carries. Please go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to start with the video presentation.
The Multimedia Film Festival of York Region is welcoming 2015 with a new name, Play Y.R. MMF Video Festival, as we start our 6th year of operation. With a new name. Look, it's time to films. Our submission period is now open. Enter your video before April 1st and to screen publicly and be eligible for at the 2015 Play YR Video Awards. Entering your website, playyr.info. Fill out the quick form. Paste a link to your video on YouTube or Vimeo. There are no entry fees, no envelopes to mail or discs to burn. Entering is free and super fast. We welcome comedy, documentary, animation, music, experimental submissions from all ages and experience. Visit our website for full details. www.playyr.info. Push the button. Come out and play.
Mr. Mayor, I'm here, Mr. Mayor and Council, I am here as Executive Director of Play YR, formerly the Multimedia Film Festival of York Region. We're the largest media festival in the region, and we're now in our 6th year of operation. We have a presence in each municipality across the region. Our host agency is Family Services York Region, and we are operating out of their head office in Newmarket at 1091 Gorham. Our board is chaired by Executive Director of Family Services York Region, Alicia Laker. So my purpose in being here tonight, Mr. Mayor and Council, is first and foremost to express my absolute gratitude on behalf of our organization for the generous support Newmarket has provided throughout the history of our organization. Our first awards gala was actually held at the York Region Administrative Centre. Year 3 was held at the Riverwalk Commons, and years 4 and 5, the gala was hosted at the Newmarket Theatre. In addition to providing venues, Mr. Mayor, the town has provided us with really exceptional staff support who have gone above and beyond whenever given the opportunity. So there isn't time to mention everyone that's been involved so far, but I'd like to make a point of acknowledging the Newmarket Theatre staff who've been instrumental in making the last 2 galas the best we've had yet. Rick Corey, Charles Kaiser, and Debbie Thorburn. In addition to being a pleasure to work with, they've showed great professionalism under pressure, and I'm really looking forward to working with this team again as the theatre will be hosting us for our 6th annual gala. The Culture of Arts, the Department of Arts and Culture has also been tremendously supportive. And I'd like to formally recognize Janice Luttrell, recreation programmer. She's played a really major part in the delivery of the festival last year, which was my first year as director of the festival. Not only was she key to delivering the gala and the Newmarket screening, which was held in this room, actually, she has also helped us engage local businesses, which has been a priority since becoming director of this organization. Engaging the private sectors, I think it's a really good direction to go in going forward. She's also been one of our most passionate evangelists, which is priceless. And for this, I have immense gratitude on behalf of the festival, as well as on a personal level. I'd like to also mention the Newmarket Public Library, where we've been offering programs using the fantastic technologies that they've made available. We've been able to offer programs free of charge, and they've been attended by Newmarket residents from children to seniors. And the Newmarket Public Library CEO, Todd Kyle, I just want to say that we've had incredibly engaging conversations surrounding the possible opportunities that we can provide for residents using technologies and through this innovative collaboration. So the kind of engagement and excitement I've felt in Newmarket has been contagious, and that's with good reason. Last year, under the roof of Newmarket Theatre, our gala was attended by special guests that really raised the bar. Our keynote speaker was a former resident, Daryl Rooney. He's been working for a number of years as an animator and director in LA for Disney and currently Sony Pictures. He provided a keynote address talking about his early career and with the intention of really inspiring youth to pursue what they really want to do for a living, because it's possible to do it. That night, Newmarket was also host to Emmy-winning actress Joanne Vanicola, who's been acting professionally since the early 80s. And she was so excited by this regional initiative that she's coming back this year as one of the hosts of our gala. The guest, I think, that made undeniably the biggest splash with youth in particular was Gemini-winning actor Monroe Chambers. Monroe plays Eli on Degrassi: The Next Generation. It's an iconic Canadian show that's syndicated in over 140 countries. He presented a number of awards to youth, and it was a surreal and profoundly affirming opportunity and experience for these young filmmakers. I suspect that word of mouth is actually going to play a significant role in driving youth engagement this year as a result of his presence. Another superstar guest in attendance was Regional Councillor Taylor. His support of our vision, it's been a major source of encouragement. And given Newmarket's recognition with the AMO Municipal Innovation Award and being one of 5 communities across our nation to be given the Google eTown Award, it's no surprise that Newmarket has such creative, progressive, and ambitious staff at all levels. Last but not least, at the gala we had Chris Landreth join us. Chris's work has been recognized around the world at many prestigious festivals. He's won a number of awards, but most notably in 2005 when his short film Ryan won an Oscar. Chris introduced his newest film, Subconscious Password, at the gala. This was a York Region premiere, and it was made possible by the National Film Board of Canada. This year, I'm working to continue attracting this level of talent, talent of this caliber. And by doing this, we're working to build a region-wide, high-profile digital initiative. We see this as the way we can serve to support our knowledge economy, and just by showing how innovative, creative, and connected our region is. Not only can we attract new businesses and residents, but we can also assist in retaining our homegrown digital professionals and creative talent. I hope that you'll see our value in a new light. We are a cultural and social asset, and we've done that well, I think. But our strategy for growth is also informed by municipal and regional economic and cultural strategy. So I hope with this in mind and hearing a bit about where we've come from and most importantly where we're going, that you'll feel that your investment will see a return. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Regional Councillor?
Just a comment, John, a great presentation, and I have had the pleasure of attending, I think, most, if not all, of the galas and other events you hold, and supporting some of the fundraising efforts you make, and it's really because of what you said, and I think, you know, you're really hitting on it. The cultural master plan we've done and the effort we put in to try and enhance and support the arts and culture in Newmarket, and to have this kind of growing asset, this diamond in the rough that's emerging. We're lucky to have that happening here, and to see all those young people at the event engaged, and to know that the youth of Newmarket who want to engage in media and digital arts in any way have this opportunity to showcase what they do and to work with some talented people. It's incredible. And then, as you said, it dovetails really well with our economic development goals and how we're trying to see Newmarket move in the future. So I hope we can continue to support you and the organization every way we can, and continue to make sure that it's seen as an event that is and partners with and is located in and is branded along with Newmarket. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Motion to receive the presentation. Councillor Kerwin. Councillor Bazance. All those in favor? Thank you very much. It's a great fit with our economic development plan, our cultural master plan, and so it's great to see that we're making progress in those areas. Councillor Bay. Thank you. Motion passes. Next item is council minutes of December the 15th. Okay. Moved by Councillor Sponga, seconded by Councillor Kerwin.
34 on page 27, Mr. Mayor.
Page 27.
Page 27 of the minutes, item 34 with regard to the budget. With regard to the increase in the budget.
I only have 20 pages, Councillor.
In mine, look on the top. On the top.
You're using the paper copy. Okay. Any corrections there then, Councillor?
Just if my colleague, Christina Bazance, are you happy with those numbers of between 2 and 2.5%?
Yeah, it's a minute. Is it accurate is the question.
Yes. Yes.
Is it accurate?
Is that accurate?
Well, I seem to recall a conversation that had a range of 1.75 to 2.5, so but that could be just my recollection.
I guess we can go back and correct that if necessary. That could be an administrative correction. My recollection was in the range of 2 to 2.5, excluding the ARF, excluding the ARF program. So,
okay, that's fine. Then we discussed it, and I mentioned the fact that the Omer's pension was increased by 1.8 and the teacher's pension was 1.7, and we discussed that issue. And then, John, we sort of compromised. So if you're happy with the accuracy of that between 2 and 2.5, then I'll let it go. Okay.
I guess what we can do is just clarify the correctness of the minutes, and I guess that's the one benefit of having these minutes recorded, is that we can we'll go back and we'll correct them based on what the video recording would tell us. Mr. Sheldon?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The minute as it stands is how I recall it, but as you say, we'll have the clerk's office take a look at that, and if there is a correction, we will circulate that to all members of council.
Okay. Any other questions as to correctness? Okay. My question is with respect to item number 27, and it's on page 8 of 20, and that is the appointment of Councillor Kerwin to the Historical Society. There doesn't seem to be a mover or a seconder there. Is that accurate?
It was part of the consent.
Oh, okay. All right. It was part of the consent agenda, so that would be why that's written that way. Thank you. Okay. All right. Any further corrections? Okay. All those in favor? We did have a mover and a seconder, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the monitor. Good. And that vote carries. Thank you. There are no petitions or correspondence. Reports by regional representatives. Regional Councillor.
Thanks very much. The Regional Council in the past cycle, there's two important documents moving forward. One is the 2014-2018 strategic plan for all of Regional Council. This is being referred to the budget process and to the strategic planning session by Council. But the draft document that's been put forward does have a focus on improving social and health supports and focusing growth on regional centres and corridors, as well as a a focus on economic development. There's a lot more detail in it, and it is available on the regional website, but that is a guiding document for the region for the next 4 years, much like a process we are undertaking here at the town. Also, at the region, we moved forward a report with the official plan consultation process. So believe it or not, we're embarking on our a 5-year update or 5-year renewal of the official plan at York Region. For anybody who's wondering if we should be considering OMB reform at all, keep in mind that our official plan from 5 years ago that we're now preparing to replace is still at the OMB. So that becomes a little unusual, but that's the state we find ourselves in. The consultation process is already underway and is moving forward, and it is targeted, the new official plan will be targeted for adoption in Q3 of 2016. And that's all the information I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Over the last 2 weeks at Committee of the Whole for the region, we received presentations by each of the commissioners outlining their roles and responsibilities within the region. And the only other item, and those presentations, I believe, are on the region's website, but if anybody wishes to have a copy of those, I'd be happy to circulate those. Also, the region will be receiving the first preliminary outline of the 2014-2018 budget by the Treasurer. I'd invite members of Council, if they are able to sit through that presentation. And in the event that you wish to receive a copy of that, it will be available on the region's website, or I'd be happy to forward a copy of that. I think that puts a great context in terms of what the longer-term planning is. The region is going through the 4- and 5-year planning process, and that's, I think, helpful insight for us as well. Okay, any questions? Good. Thank you. We'll go to reports of committee and staff then. The first item is the Committee of the Whole minutes of January the 12th. Are there any items that members wish to deal with separately? Councillor Vague.
Number 13, just like to make a couple of comments. That's the community ice rinks.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Sponga.
Just a couple of comments around a new business item. 2 items, the heading of the letter D.
D, and what's the item on the agenda? Or on
New
the
business.
Minutes? Just new business, it's
Under
not
new
numbered,
business,
eh? Okay. New business, item D, thank you. Regional Councillor.
Item 15, please.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Broom Plumley.
Item 9.
Number 9. Okay, thank you. Any other items? Okay, can I have a motion then to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole of January 12th, with the exceptions of item 13, item D under new business, item number 15, and item number 9. Councillor Sponga, Councillor Hempen?
Sure.
Okay,
That
thank
wasn't
you.
at the meeting, actually.
You can still move it.
I'll move it.
Okay. All right, all those in favor? That carries. Thank you. All right, we'll start with item number 13.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me just see if I can locate that on my laptop here, Councillor. That would be great. Okay, there we are. So the recommendations are before you. Is there a mover with respect to the recommendations? A mover and a seconder?
We'll go in the same order as at Committee of the Whole, so. Councillor Kelly,
Councillor
and I'll second that.
Broom Plumley moves the recommendations, and Councillor Vague as the seconder.
Okay.
As the mover, Councillor Broom Plumley, wish to speak to the recommendations?
Okay. This
Councillor
is
Vague as the seconder.
Thank you. This is a very exciting time for Newmarket when we're looking this year to open 3 community outdoor skating rinks, and all these rinks are dependent on the weather. The first rink has already opened in Lions Park and has proven to be very, very, very popular. A lot of hard work. There will be a rink in Ward 6. If Councillor Broom Plumley would like to speak on that afterwards, certainly welcome to. And there will be a rink in Ward 1, located at Ken Sturgeon Park. Now, these community rinks, they really are community projects. I'd just like to say thank you to the Stonehaven Plaza and Copa's grocery store for the donation to cover the costs for this project. And also a special thank you to, we have 40-plus community-based volunteers to help build the rink and maintain the rink. We're looking for the rink to be opened by, weather permitting, of course, by the first week of February. But this is a pretty exciting time for the town, moving ahead with these 3 community-based projects, and very low-cost projects, too. I'd like to stress they do not really involve any increase in taxes, and they really bring communities together in a way that's just wonderful to see. People are talking about it, they're excited about it, and they all want to take ownership of this. So I just wanted to bring that forward and bring it to everyone's attention.
Thank you. Any further discussions? All those in favor of the recommendations in the motion? Councillor Sponga and Councillor Bazance? Thank you. That motion carries. Next item then is under new business, item D. Yep, we'll come back to that. I'm just actually calling them in the order that they were requested. Okay? Councillor, well, who wishes to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Sponga.
I don't know if, okay, there's the mic.
Want to move the recommendations?
I
Or move the minute? Or
think,
correct the minute?
I just wanted to comment to the minute. I don't think there was a specific motion to the new business items that were raised, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to raise them again. And briefly, basically, what I pointed out at committee of the whole, that we've had a number of residents expressing some concern in terms of some of the forthcoming redevelopment applications, whether they're infill or greenfield, but a lot specifically in terms of infield application in Ward 5, and whether the municipality was going to express or take a position on the Ontario Municipal Board reform. I just wanted to say that at committee of the whole, we had some discussion, and I'm glad. I was glad to hear that the region has already done a considerable amount of work on this, and that our staff will be preparing an information report that will document both the town's and the region's response on any reform that would be forthcoming. So I'm looking forward to that. The other one is, again, through the week I've received, since the committee of the whole, again, a number of concerns about the implementation of the community mailboxes in established neighborhoods such as Ward 5. And there seems to be some confusion because some residents have obtained some information in terms of that the community mailbox is already going ahead on the certain sides of the street in certain areas. And I'm looking forward in receiving some information from staff in regards where that implementation strategy is and whether Canada Post has already identified sites for that, and whether there will be an information report or whether there be any consultation with their planning department and the residents in terms of where those boxes will actually be located within those established neighborhoods. It's one thing when we go through a plan of subdivisions and we identify areas where those community mailboxes should be installed, taking into consideration parking, etc., the outline of the subdivision, etc. But it's a whole different thing when you're going to implement community boxes in neighborhoods that have been established since the late 1800s. So, and I think that will have a considerable impact. So I just wanted to reinforce the point, and that myself and the residents, especially some of these established neighborhoods, I can only speak for Ward 5, we're looking forward in getting some more information. Thank you.
Thank you. In retrospect, we adopted everything with the exception of this item, so I guess the appropriate motion would be to receive that.
Motion to receive, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Kerwin. Did you want to speak to that as a seconder? I note there's two item Ds, so that's, we've addressed both of them. Any further discussions on item D, new business, and the motion? All those in favor? Thank you. And that carries. Thank you. Next item is item number 15. Regional Councillor, your motion?
My motion will be the motion that's before us, with the exception of number 2, although there are 2 number 2s, it appears, and that it says that, and that staff provide a report on items deferred to 2016. And my motion will be that reason that staff provide a report on the remaining items. I'll speak to it when you follow the process. It's hard for somebody to second it because they don't know what I mean, because I can't speak to what I mean, but that's the process we have.
So yeah, just get on the table, okay? So just to clarify, you're looking at the first item 2, and you're looking at changing the recommendation from what's written
Staff
there?
provide a report on the remaining items.
Okay. Okay, as the mover, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I believe this is a correction. If staff received it differently, but I believe, just for the viewing audience, this is a report on pre-budget approval to a number of pieces of equipment in the town of Newmarket, vehicles, et cetera. I was questioning the age of some of the vehicles and the mileage and whether they need to be replaced, and was wanting further information. Council agreed with that direction. But I believe the motion that was made was that staff, the remaining items that staff were to bring back a report almost at the pace they saw fit, if they wanted to try to do it in a couple of weeks, or to bring it, and this is pre-budget approval, because it could come to 2015 budget, but defer to 2016 certainly wasn't the intention, although if that's what staff think, I'm open to that direction, depending on, but I thought I'd just leave it open to bring back a report on the remaining items, and you can see fit as to when you feel that's the appropriate timing, but I don't think it needs to be specifically deferring it to 2016.
Okay, Mr. Sheldon, your comments?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Subject to any comments that the Deputy Clerk wishes to make, that's my recollection of this as well, that they were not deferred to a future budget year, but deferred for a report back to committee, and it could come at any time, and I think the intention is that it would come as part of the 2015 budget.
Okay, if it was possible. Okay, good. Councillor Sponga is the seconder.
Yeah, as a seconder, I know there were some items in the report that had been deferred from the previous report to 2016 for replacement, but the nature of the motion was that to identify certain vehicles and then certain replacement vehicles, and for the remainder of the vehicles that were on that list, that a subsequent report would come in front of council. So I just wanted to confirm the position of regional council.
Okay, good. Any questions? All those in favor of the recommendations as amended? Councillor Hanford?
I did.
Okay, regional councillor, wish to vote on the motion you moved?
I have, and it's disappeared off my screen.
Has it? Okay. Technology. We'll figure this out over time. Item number 9. Item number 9 is relative to. Item number 9 is the appointment committee.
No, it's the Young Street Sidewalk on Taylor Trail to Savage Road.
Okay, that was the intent?
The hard copy.
Oh, I see. That's the hard copy item? Okay. Item number 9 is.
She's looking in the old.
Okay. Right. What we can do then is.
There would be a number 14, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Be number 14 on this agenda. Okay. All right, so we'll deal with this as item number 14, because I understand the intent was with respect to the sidewalk. So I don't know whether or not we'll need a separate motion on that. Technically, I believe it's been adopted by consent. So what we can do is, let's reconsider number 14. No, it's already been dealt with by consent. So let's. Removing the reconsideration. Okay. All right. Councillor Sponga, regional councillor. All those in favor? Okay, that is carried. Now we'll entertain the motion with respect to the item number 14. No, I'm looking for the motion. So this is now being reconsidered, item number 14. The recommendations are here. If you wish to move them separately now.
Yes, I wish to move them separately.
Okay, and we have a seconder for that? Councillor Vague. Okay, Councillor Broom Plumley as the mover.
I just want to take the opportunity to talk to the public today about the sidewalk that is going ahead with council's approval, Tom Taylor Trail to Savage Road. I wanted to thank members of council, first of all, for allowing the additional funding and to enable staff to award and complete the project. This has been a project that's been in the works for a long time, and I also wanted to thank staff for going through many hurdles and changes within this project, and I wanted to thank the public as well for their patience, as I understand that this is a very unsafe stretch of road, and I'm looking forward to this project proceeding. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Vague is the seconder. No additional comments. Thank you. Any other comments? I'll call the question then. All those in favor? That requires us to deal with item number 9. Okay? So item number 9 was excluded from the consent agenda. So item number 9 is the BIA appointments on the recommendations. Councillor Sponga moved. Seconded by Councillor Hempen. Any discussion? All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. I believe that deals with all of the items on the Committee of the Whole agenda. Bylaws. We don't have any bylaws? No bylaws, no notice, any notices of motion? Any motions? Announcements and community events. We'll start with Councillor Vague.
Thank you very much. I just want to bring the public up to date, a little bit of information about what we're doing to keep Newmarket drinking water safe. And that is a top priority for the town. And part of our continued commitment to ensure water quality, the town, working with York Region, will be temporarily changing, and I want to stress temporarily, changing to a free chlorine disinfection method for the water distribution system. That means that this change is used to ensure that the pipe wall cleanliness and water quality. Please be advised that the changeover start date of January 18th was originally indicated in a notice sent out to residents in the central zone of Newmarket, and that includes a large part of Ward 1, has now been postponed. And perhaps we can have some information from our commissioner as to when we can expect that.
Mr. Neuheimer?
Yes, certainly through you, Mr. Mayor. The reason for the delay is that there needed to be some extra diligence in some of the valving that was on the perimeter of the zone. The new date is set for the end of January.
Okay. So it's basically about approximately a 1-week delay.
Yes,
for
about 10 days. Yeah.
Safety reasons. So that'll be at the end of January. Also, for that short period of time, will people notice a change in either the color or taste of their water?
Mr. Neuheimer?
Again, through you, Mr. Mayor, there may be slight traces of chlorine odor, but very slight. And if there is a change in color, that would simply be related to the change over to the new disinfectant from chloramine to chlorine. Again, if there is any such noticeable taste in or change in odor or color, running the taps for about 5 minutes should dissipate that.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that information. Very much appreciated. That's all I have.
Councillor Kerwin?
Could I just reinforce this, Mr. Vague? Also in Ward 2, a specific area called Highgate, which is just off Trudeau Lane. Could you like to comment on that, Mr. Commissioner?
Mr. Neuheimer, go ahead.
With what they call a mist or fog?
I'm not sure I I understand the question.
I just got an email from Bill Wilson that they will be testing that area as well, and I think we should cover that as well, is that there could be some mist coming out of the water or the appliances that the residents use. So if you could get that out as well as the Ward 1, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, yes.
In fact, it just came in tonight.
Okay, thank you, Councillor.
Thank you. Councillor Kerwin, then community announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I have two. Please be advised that the bridge located at College Manor Park, connecting the park to Sheridan Court, is closed for repairs until further notice. College Manor Park can be accessed alternately through College Manor Drive or Gaston Place. And for more information, you can call the town at 905-895-5193. And I'd like to thank our director, Rachel Prudhomme, for looking after that. And I did receive an email later today that they're trying to repair that bridge as soon as possible. They need a welder. So, and I say as soon as you can get it repaired, the better. It's a long walk around the residents who live on Sheridan Court and Allen and Perrin and Sutherland and Cedarwood and Maple Street. And conversely, it's a long way around for the residents of College Manor, because that bridge is heavily used. So as soon as you can get that bridge repaired, it would be greatly appreciated. And I know toboggan is an issue, but the people from the young kids from what I call the village go across that bridge to toboggan at College Manor Park. So I appreciate the fact, Mr. Commissioner, and through your director, that it's being expedited. So thank you. The other item that I have is just the library. I will be at the library the next 3 Saturdays, January the 24th, the 31st, and the 7th. And I'm there from 9:30 until 12, and any resident from Ward 2, or any resident for that matter, can come down and meet with me. It's a great place to be on a cold winter day, and the library has some great meeting rooms there. So that's where I'll be for the next 3 Saturdays. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Twinney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Join in the fun at Newmarket's annual Winterfest event. Enjoy a $1 pancake breakfast beginning Saturday, February 7th at 8 a.m. at Newmarket Riverwalk Commons on Duncan Drive. The fun continues 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with entertainment, Tim Hortons express rides, horse-drawn wagon rides, pony rides, children's games, and hot food. Admission is free with select activities having a nominal fee. Winterfest then continues on Sunday, February 8th at the Ray 20 Recreation Complex at 100 Eagle Street West, with free skating from noon till 2 and free public swimming from 2 till 4. Donations of non-perishable food items are always welcome, and for more information, please visit newmarket.ca or call 905-895-5193.
Thank you. Regional Councillor.
Thanks very much. Just want to highlight on February the 5th, Thursday, February the 5th, the York Region Food Network is holding its annual fundraiser and trivia challenge, and so they're looking for sponsors and trivia teams to join them for this important night to work towards food sustainability and food education in our communities. If you're interested in sponsoring or participating in this event on February the 5th, I will be the quiz master. So if any members of council are coming, I'll make sure I've got some questions you can't answer. And just contact Joan Stonehawker for anyone who's interested, and that's Joan S. at YRFN, York Region Food Network, yrfn.ca. I also want to highlight what I believe is a significant day for the town of Newmarket. The town issued a press release today informing the community that the Newmarket Soccer Club has paid its loan off to the town of Newmarket in full as of today. So this, I just want to recap that the intention of this council was to provide a bridge loan for a soccer club that was facing financial stresses and difficulties, and for them to be able to sell their Woodbine lands, regain financial stability, and carry on not only the soccer club in better health, but also the indoor soccer facility that could have been in jeopardy. That's exactly what has occurred. The lands have been sold. The loan is paid off. And I'd just like to point out that in 2013, 3,200 youth participants were able to participate in soccer. There was also 2 successful indoor seasons that at the new facility. And on top of that, the town of Newmarket was able to partner with the Newmarket Soccer Club and have 400 youths in a youth sports camp inside of that indoor facility. The 2013 and the 2014 fees from owing to the town from the soccer club are completely up to date and paid. And the town, during this time period, collected $140,000 in interest payments on the loan amount. If we had left that money in our reserves and not assisted the soccer club, we would have earned about $35,000 in interest. The loan was paid off entirely in just over 1 year. The Newmarket Soccer Club is in a much better financial position, stable, and the Newmarket Indoor Soccer Facility is serving many, many children today. And I think this is a great example of community partnerships and community building, and great to see them now dealing with a financial institution, and we've served to make that bridge possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hempin.
Thank you. That's some great news for the soccer club and for our municipality. And I wanted to thank our staff who've worked very hard with the soccer club in seeing this through, and the council members who supported it. It was important that we helped out, and there was some real community benefit through getting the soccer club through their difficult times. My announcement: calling all teens. Are you ahead of the game? Get ahead of the game with Toronto Argonaut Jonathan Hood. His 12-session teen mentorship program teaches leadership, teamwork, and performance. The program starts Tuesday, January 27th from 7 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. at the Recreation and Youth Center at the skate park, 56 Charles Street. For further information and to register, visit www.newmarket.ca/ahead-of-the-game. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Sponga.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of announcements. First of all, I want to take the opportunity, following on some of the comments from Councillor Vague earlier, to thank the volunteers and the community of Ward 5 around Lions Park and the Gorman Pool for putting in nothing shy than probably about 500 volunteer hours now in getting our Lions Park community rink up and running. It was wonderful to see how even this evening it was filled with families playing shinny. So great kudos to there's many volunteers, but I want to take the opportunity to thank a few of them by first name. You know who you are the ones that started working from a slab of concrete to make it a great place where now our community meets. I want to thank Chris, Pat, Mark, a.k.a. Wesley, Jay, Trevor. You guys did an incredible job. Thank you so much. And again, I'll take this opportunity again, as I did last Monday, to thank our directors, both the Recreation and Public Works and the commissioners for all their efforts in seeing this pilot project off. I also, this weekend, I also had a great opportunity to attend the Neil Barber Memorial Hockey Tournament in London, Ontario as a parent, and I didn't realize I was going to sit and have an informal ward meeting or town meeting with many residents of Newmarket. I just want to commend the Newmarket. I also want to echo the comments of Regional Councillor and Councillor Hemp in terms of the soccer. We got great community sports organization. I'm an assistant coach with the soccer club, doing great work, absolutely. But I also want to take the opportunity to commend Newmarket Minor Hockey. Great pool of talent, great kids, great parents, volunteers, and our young kids performed incredibly. I think a couple of teams made it to the semifinals and placed as high as 4th overall place, so that's incredible. And now for something completely different, a shift to spring. It means we're quickly approaching the spring season if I get to announce this first public information schedule for a road rehabilitation project for 2015. So I'd like to inform the residents of Woodland Court about the reconstruction of Woodland Court from Lauren Avenue to the west limit of the court. There will be a public information center held here at the municipal offices in this room on January 27th at, I believe it's 6 to 8 p.m. Oh, sorry, it's not in the council chambers. It's actually in Kane Meetings Rooms A and B.
So again, January 27th, between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. in Kane, in rooms Kane, room A and B, a public information center to discuss the reconstruction of Woodland Court from Lauren Avenue to the west limit of the court. And that is it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Broom-Plumley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Regarding Ward 6 Community Ice Rink, I just want to take a moment to thank members of staff for coming out and helping us to create our footprint. Chris, Bill, and Colin, I appreciate that. And along with members of the community, Jennifer, Tim, Jen, Ainsley, Paul, Glenn, and Stephen. In addition, the Town of Newmarket is seeking volunteers to serve on various statutory committees. Newmarket residents may apply to be part of a number of committees, including the Accessibility Advisory Committee, Appeal Committee, Committee of Adjustment, Heritage Newmarket Advisory Committee, Newmarket Public Library Board, and Property Standards Committee. The deadline for applications is January the 23rd. For more information and to apply, please visit newmarket.ca or call 905-953-5300, extension 2200. And finally, Say My Name is a song written to combat the growing issue of bullying. This is a 30-day kindness challenge, begins on January 25th and ends on February 25th with the international release of the video Say My Name. Glenn Moraes is a well-known local artist, also a Newmarket resident, and written by him as well. The idea is to keep track of random acts of kindness. Posting can be done as a school, as a company, as a family, as a municipality, as an organization or a group, through the kindness counter online at saymynamecanada.com. Let's join together and stop bullying now. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bazance.
Thank you very much. Well, we talked about a couple of battles today, and here I've got another one to announce. This is the Battle of York, which is ready to take place on hometown ice when the Newmarket Junior A Hurricanes take on the Aurora Tigers in this renowned charity event. On February 15th, the two mighty local hockey teams will face off at 2:30 at the Ray Twinney Recreation Complex. The Battle of York is a community fundraiser that directs all proceeds to programs and services at South Lake Stronach Regional Cancer Center. Since it first began, this Newmarket Hurricane special event has raised over $110,000, making a difference for South Lake patients and their families. The event also honors three young men whose lives ended too early: Kevin Lord, Josh Sador, and KJ Ramola. So come on out Sunday, February 15th for an exciting hockey game experience and win a chance at some great prizes and auction items. Tickets are $10 for adults, $6 for seniors and students, and $4 for children under 10. For more information, go online to www.newmarkethurricanes.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's an active community, and it's my pleasure to announce yet another community activity. I'd like people to join me at the Upper Canada Mall on Sunday, February the 8th, for the Chats Walk for Wellness, and that's to support programs and services for seniors in our community. Registration begins at 8 a.m., and the walk takes place from 8:30 to 10:30. There's a registration fee of $25 per walker, and you can register online so that family and friends can donate directly through your personal fundraising webpage. And a donation form can also be downloaded to collect pledges done by cash or by check. There are also fundraising incentives, and for more information, please visit the Chats website at www.chats.on.ca. My wife and I look forward to this every year, and having an indoor walk has some degree of comfort that we tend to enjoy. Reflecting back also on the comments made with respect to the soccer club, I want to also thank the directors of the soccer club and their commitment to see the project through. This was an incredible challenge, and the fact that they could have just walked away from that project, having a volunteer board make the commitment to their community and say, we've got to see this through, is something that they should all be very proud of. And I want to thank the directors and the members of the Newmarket Soccer Club for an incredible commitment to our community. And our next council meeting will be on Monday, February the 9th at 7 p.m. Any items of new business? Councillor Kerwin?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just one, and I've spoken to our Commissioner, Peter Neuhammer, with regard to our calendar, recycling and waste collection calendar. Every member of the community should have one, and I know in Ward 2, please follow it. It's important to put out your garbage when it indicates on this calendar. And as we've had some issues with blue boxes being contaminated, make sure you do not put plastic in those blue boxes. And one of the offenders is a newspaper with plastic wrapper on it. Just don't drop it in the blue box, but take the wrapper off that newspaper and then put the newspaper in that box. And the other thing is, too, the light plastic containers that they put raspberries in and strawberries in. If you put them on the top of that box, they'll blow away and they'll blow all around the neighborhood. And it is an issue. So make sure when you do put the blue box out that the items in that box are placed so that they don't blow around when it's a windy day, particularly newspapers. And basically that's why people put some of those newspapers in a plastic bag, but when they were in that plastic bag, they were not accepted by Green for Life. So I spoke to our commissioner, and as we say, when we went from 5 bags to 3 bags, it's all in the education, that if we educate people, it will be done in a due fashion and in an orderly fashion, and there will be no more incidences, we hope. When we come to the spring with regard to yard waste, it's only picked up every 2 weeks. And what happens if you put it out early, a week before, the bottoms of those bags rot and the leaves fall on the street and they clog the catch basins. So please follow the instructions in the excellent calendar that our staff has prepared. It's very important. I have no further, and thank you, Peter, for working our way through this. And as we say, we'll just get it out and we'll get it right. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think the calendar is also on the MyWaste app for your mobile devices as well. So that it's available there as well. Councillor Sponga, new business?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to take the opportunity to thank legislative staff and Commissioner. I guess it was a combined effort, both the engineering department and the legislative department for the report on the whistle ban. I had, back in October of 2014, I had asked if we could get an information report in regards to the enforceability of the whistle ban bylaw. I was glad to get the report, however, that raises a serious concern. The bylaw was enacted in 1943, and it was a bylaw that regulated CN operations in terms of the use of warning whistles at the railway crossings through Newmarket. Since that time, however, the railway tracks have been sold, are now under the purview of GO Train, or been sold, went from federal to provincial control, and therefore the bylaw is no longer valid or enforceable. So nevertheless, the whistles are continuing to blow, and what concerns me now is that up until this point, at least we had some perceived, at least regulations or guidelines that sort of gave the residents some level of comfort that the whistle could not be blown during nighttime. But with the lack of a bylaw, I just wonder what that does, and through you, Mr. Mayor, maybe to the Commissioner or the CAO, whether our staff is now considering drafting a new bylaw to regulate that. At the end of the day, the whistles are getting more and more frequent. Residents are living closer and closer to the proximity, and to quote another member of council last year, that the practice right now is archaic, and there's other ways of doing this than just...
Mr. Neuhammer, you're the author of the report.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Sponga. Yes, we did prepare an information report on the train whistling issue. and the bylaw from 1943. And as you correctly indicated, there was some confirmation that since the line was sold from CN Rail to Metrolinx, that bylaw was no longer enforceable. We do intend to come forward with a further information report addressing a number of other GO Train operational issues that you had raised in your earlier motion, but we wanted to put this one to bed, so to speak, separately. And we do anticipate coming forward with that report on the GO Train operations, including train speeds and crossings and frequency of the service and whistling at the various crossings of Water Street, Timothy Street, and Davis Drive. We expect that report still in the first quarter of 2015.
Okay. Further, Ms. Mayor, if I may, is there anything precluding right now trains to blow in the whistle through the evening out into the nighttime? To use your, put this to bed.
Mr. Noel?
Again, through Mr. Mayor, this is basically a safety issue, and under the regulations, the rail authority has the primacy in this location to preserve safety. So they will whistle when they see fit, either along the corridor if there's any pedestrian trespass issues, or at crossings, regardless of whether there's physical barriers at the location as well. In my experience, it is a long and arduous path working through Transport Canada and the rail agency to try to come to some amicable agreement around train whistling or the cessation of train whistling. But in every experience, at the end of the day, it still rests with the rail operator as to whether they perceive there to be a safety issue or not. So I'm not sure I'm answering your question or not, but suffice to say that when it comes down to it, it is the rail operating company that has the say as to whether their engineers will blow the whistle or the horn.
I just wanted, I look forward to that information report because now we know we do no longer have a bylaw restricting when the whistles can be used. Not to say that the bylaw was enforceable to begin with. However, I want to stress the fact again that this last Thursday I was in Clarkson in the middle of rush hour. I understand it's Lorne Park, a very prestigious area of Mississauga, and I witnessed 3 GO train crossing Clarkson Road, parallel to Lakeshore, approaching the Clarkson GO station without blowing whistles. So there's got to be a way of doing it.
Okay, and hopefully that'll be addressed when the report comes forward.
Thank you.
As to how that's accomplished within those communities. Good, thank you. Councillor Vague.
Thank you very much. This probably fits better in a community announcements, and I should have mentioned it then, but we have the Ward 1 community drop-in coming up on Tuesday, February 3rd. It's a monthly drop-in that I hold at the Magna Centre from 7 to 9 p.m. So I invite all Ward 1 residents to come by, say hello, bring forward your concerns and your suggestions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday, February 3rd at the Magna Centre between 7 and 9 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. I have 2 items, more or less housekeeping items. Number one is I know that the region appointed Councillor Kerwin as Newmarket's representative to Lake Simcoe Regional Conservation Authority, and they did so under my undertaking to provide a motion from this council to do so. So I'm wondering if just to tidy that up, if I could have a motion to appoint Councillor Kerwin as our representative.
I'll move it.
Councillor Hempin, Councillor Sponga. Any discussion? All those in favor?
That's contingent, Mr. Mayor, that we get no flooding in Ward 5.
That's totally undertaken. Councillor Twinney?
I'm honored, and the meeting that's very important is this Friday, January 23rd. That's where we elect a new chair and a vice chair. And if you can attend that meeting, it's from 9 a.m. till around 12 noon, and it is at the Holiday Express. That's on Pony Drive. So if members of council would like to come out and learn something about the Lake Simcoe Region Conservation Authority, it would be great. And I thank you for your support, and I enjoyed it for the past 4 years. I know I'll enjoy it for the next 4 years. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Twinney, you wish to vote? Thank you. The next item relates to the site plan meeting that we had today. That carries. The next item relates to the site plan meeting that we had today with respect to a referral to a PIC. My concern is that the minutes of the meeting will not come till the next council meeting. I just want to be clear that this council supported the recommendation that we have the PIC and that staff go forward and arrange for the PIC. I think the commitment was within 30 days. Is that those members that were present, that confirms? That's okay, so that's the intent. Mr. Nohammer, do you need anything else to be able to go forward, or is that sufficient to provide you the...
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that clarification, and it's perfectly clear in terms of the direction to staff.
Great, thank you.
Just want to comment. Just want to comment because I think Mr. Nether at the time was pretty clear that it would be around 30 days.
Yes.
I'd hate to say within, and then because of planning those meetings, it could be
There could be
days
some
off one way or another.
constraints as far as the facilities being available to people. Yep. Thank you for that clarification. Okay. There's no requirement for a closed session tonight, and so the confirmatory bylaw is next. Councillor Sponga, Councillor Broom-Plumley is the seconder. Do you wish to speak to the motion, Councillor? Okay. All those in favor? Well, let's wait till we vote on this. Great. All right, that is carried. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Kerwin, seconded by Councillor Vey. Wish to speak to the motions? Okay. There we go. That is carried. We're adjourned. Thank you very much. That was good. Hey, look it. I did not